Coming up on Tiger News, we'll show you how Memphis celebrated Veterans Day.
And also, we'll meet a student who is a former Army medic and how he deals with PTSD.
Tiger News starts right now.
Good morning and welcome back to another edition of Tiger News. I'm Raven Copeland.
And I'm Natalie Brewer. Thanks for joining us. The Crime Stoppers of Memphis has set a $21,000 reward for information on the murder of former Grizzly and Memphian Lorenzen Wright. Former Memphis Tiger and Grizzlies player Lorenzen Wright was murdered in 2010, and now, 7 years later, the gun used in the incident has been found. Investigators of the case found the weapon in a Mississippi lake. Deborah Marion, Wright's mother, went to the spot where the weapon was found. This is the first piece of evidence the family has received since the same year of Wright's death. Wright was and still is known throughout the city as a basketball legend in Memphis on the high school, collegiate, and professional level.
Tiger News reporter Bailey Clark is currently studying abroad in Paris, France, and sends us updates on life in the French capital. Today, she is telling us how Paris residents are acknowledging the 2-year anniversary of the November 15th terror attacks.
After recent terrorist attacks in Europe, tourism is struggling to return to what it once was. Paris in particular is recovering from 2 major attacks in 2015.
I'm standing here in front of the Bataclan 2 years after the November 2015 terrorist attacks that took place in Paris, where over 130 people were killed, including 90 at this here concert venue.
On the 2-year anniversary of the attack, flowers and tokens were laid outside of the Bataclan as a memorial to those who were lost. But still, security in the city is high even after 2 years. Guards are stationed outside of major tourist attractions in an effort to keep everyone, even tourists such as Sam Whitlock from California, safe from harm.
Walking around, you see all these police, so, as long as you just don't go in the wrong neighborhoods at the wrong time of night, you gotta live your life.
Just like Whitlock said, people are still coming to Paris to live their life. A survey published by the European Travel Commission in July shows that France is still the most popular destination for Americans in Europe, such as Jonathan Nouse.
Maybe a couple of years ago, I would have had concerns about terrorism going to a foreign country, but given just all the tragedies that have happened in America as well, I kind of put it all into one basket.
Despite recent tragedies, like Jonathan said, people are still coming to Paris to view its sights such as the Eiffel Tower. I'm Bailey Clark with Tiger News reporting to you from Paris.
They are the brave men and women who wore the uniform of our nation. The University of Memphis honored the veterans last Friday, one day before Veterans Day. University President David Rudd opened the traditional flag-raising ceremony at 9 a.m. Around 30 people and the school marching band, Mighty Sound of the South, came to honor the veterans. The flag raising took place at the flagpole at the north edge of the Alumni Hall and was part of a bigger program. And it was not just the university that honored our veterans last weekend. The whole city of Memphis did, with special offers and events.
There definitely were many ways to honor veterans, and a big event was held at Laughlin Yard, hosted by the War Horses for Heroes Association. Tiger News reporter Christian Volk was there.
Originally, Veterans Day wasn't established to honor our veterans, but more to celebrate peace in the whole world after World War I.
Okay, that did not really work well, and the government changed it in the 1950s. Because of that, many families honor our veterans here at Laughlin Yard. Talk to them, play games, or just listen to live music. The organizer, War Horses for Heroes. They help veterans with PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, and other injuries. They offer a special horse therapy. Doug Fugit takes part in that program.
When I started retiring, I became depressed and extremely isolated, and into the VA program on PTSD helped me get back onto a normal behavioral pattern.
Around 150 veterans are part of the organization, says Sarah Beth Robb, Director of Communications. Many of them like the program so much that they try to become therapists themselves.
They started off as just one of our guests, one of our guys that came and rode with us, and they loved it so much that they wanted to share their experience with others.
The Veterans Day picnic was the first public event for War Horses for Heroes. With the money they raised on Veterans Day, they want to upgrade their facilities to give more veterans the chance to join. Reporting for Tiger News, Christian Volk.
According to the Department of Veterans Affairs, around 20% of veterans suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder. Veterans Day is an important opportunity to raise awareness for injured veterans. When we come back, we'll take a look at the Broad Avenue Art Walk event and see how the arts are making an impact.
Listen, I realize that I'm not perfect, but it all really started to change because you judge me for having a problem. No one is going to know that I need help. I need help. I know that no one is going to judge me for having a problem. I realize that I'm not perfect, but it all really started to change because you listen.
I'm a single mother, and I was the main one working, so I never thought that I could go back to school, you know? My sister, my mother, everybody wanted to help me with my kids. I could not have gotten my diploma without my family.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Don't ignore the subtext. It's on us to intervene in sexual assault. Because we can. Take the pledge at itsonus.org.
What if you could invest in the future of kids, like a stock? Not the kind of stock that's about making money, but a stock for social change. A whole new kind of investment called Better Futures. When you invest, it helps kids go to college. Believe in us, invest in us, watch us grow.
My name is Sydney, and I'm your dividend.
Memphis is known for its attractions, art, and food. Tiger News reporter Alex Talley had the pleasure of enjoying all of these things this past weekend.
From live music to food and, of course, art, visitors to Broad Avenue on Friday night experienced it all. As part of its annual art walk, the neighborhood played host to things to do for every kind of person. The main attraction, Sights and Sounds, brought people into the historic district as it continues to put itself back on the map. At the T. Clifton Gallery, a variety of works were brought in to catch the eye.
And we love to show both two-dimensional art but also three-dimensional and glass work. And this art walk just basically introduces people on the street to what we do and our product, and also just the amazing skill set of these artists.
But art wasn't the only thing on exhibit. Restaurants and shops also took the chance to promote what they have to offer and get new patrons excited to come to the area.
Well, it brings in a whole new crowd of people from all over the town that normally don't come down here, and they get to see all the fun stuff that we're doing down here and how creative we are being.
But not everything could go perfectly. A band of wet weather dropped in on the walk, but it wasn't enough to throw off its stride.
A little fall of rain couldn't put a damper on spirits here into the water tower tonight, showing that music, food, and fun are more than enough to bring people out to support their local businesses. For Tiger News, I'm Alex Talley on Broad Avenue.
The Met Gala was at the University of Memphis this past weekend as the Black Student Association held its annual fashion show. The event took place on campus in the University Center. Students, alumni, family, and friends were all in attendance for this occasion. The Met Gala here at Memphis consisted of performances and small business vendors, but most importantly, self-employed fashion designers. The show was put together for students and non-students who have a passion for fashion, market their brand. All models of the show were enrolled students at the university and members of the Black Student Association.
Tiger News reporter Bailey Clark is joining us from Paris to tell us about a store that has become central to a city renowned for its fashion.
Paris is a city known not only for the Eiffel Tower, but also for its fashion, and situated in Paris's first district is Colette, one of fashion's most well-known stores.
Colette Rousseau first opened Colette in March 1997. Now, 20 years later, the store is run by Colette herself and her daughter, Sarah Adelman.
Soon the doors of Colette will be closing forever, as Colette herself plans to retire in December. Customers ranging from celebrities to Parisians to tourists alike, such as Jules de Poitiers, will no longer be able to view and purchase the exclusive content sold there.
There's a lot of exclusive pieces, but also brands that you don't see anywhere, like Vêtements, Off-White, things like that.
In spanning 3 floors, Colette not only has unique merchandise, but it also has a water bar on its bottom floor, and even a makeup bar on its top floor, in addition to a space set aside for collaborations with designers, such as Chanel, something that Guillaume Salmon knows well.
With everything we did, with all the collaborations, the exhibitions, the events, the Windows display, I think we have an impact, not only in Paris, but also maybe in the rest of the world.
And with only 2 months left, Colette hopes to continue to make an impact on its customers from around the world. I'm Bailey Clark with Tiger News, reporting to you from Paris.
Colette will be continuing to do business as usual until it closes in December, but other stores are already looking to take over the store's coveted spot.
When we come back, we'll meet a University of Memphis student who served in the Army and suffers from PTSD.
What to expect when you're expecting
Like here.
a teenager.
Today, I'm going to show you how to teen-proof your home. First step, hide the car keys, preferably somewhere they would never look. Challenges will come up. Be ready for them. Hi, honey.
I'm ready for the... Mom, you don't use mannequins in the mannequin challenge.
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
So we were walking to school. I started thinking about lunch. Mom packed me turkey and cheese.
She's
I really
smart.
want cheese pizza.
Sometimes her mind wanders.
We should have a sleepover.
I remember saying, Laura?
I think I heard Mom say something.
The sign says don't walk.
Sometimes it's so overwhelming.
I really hope she doesn't
I
have
really
another
hope
bad
we
day
don't have
at
another
school
bad day at
today.
school today.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. Go to understood.org, a free online resource with support and tools to help your child thrive.
Hi! Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably gonna turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right?
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
Earlier in the show, we talked about the importance of bringing awareness to veterans through Veterans Day events. Tiger News reporter Tatiana Schuster had the chance to sit down with a University of Memphis student veteran who suffers from PTSD.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Spotlight. My guest today is Kevin Barr. Hello, Kevin.
Hello.
Kevin Barr is student veteran and psychology major here at the UFM. And today we're going to talk about a psychological disorder. According to national statistics, it's about 11% of all Afghan vets who suffer from PTSD, so-called post-traumatic stress disorder. And one of them is Kevin.
Well, it was Good Friday 2011 when I was heading out for Good Friday Mass. And as I stepped off the last step, a rocket landed about 10 feet away and exploded, and it threw me into a concrete barrier that took a piece of my lip and gave me a severe concussion. I had burns to the left side of my body, and it killed one of our nurses and destroyed our aid station. And then within about 20-30 minutes of that, we had more rockets being fired into the base,
I hit my head and I was out for a little bit.
You're still suffering from PTSD. It was caused by that event. So what does it mean for you in your daily life?
I no longer eat meat that's been cooked in my house because the smell of cooking meat reminds me of being over there, and I immediately get sick. Some of it is if I'm driving and I hear like a whistle, I immediately flash back that I'm there and I have to pull over. Otherwise, I start having a panic attack while driving. I can't drink anything red because I was a medic, so I saw a lot of red. And then there's just some basic personality things, like I don't like sitting with my back to doors or windows because I don't know what's coming behind me. And if someone was to just walk up and touch me without being in my visual field, it immediately triggers a panic attack.
So in which ways is post-traumatic stress disorder treatable or maybe even curable?
Okay, well, as of right now, PTSD is technically not curable. They just treat it and try to desensitize you to your triggers or find ways to help you cope with them. A lot of veterans with PTSD, they do a form of therapy and medication. For the smell, they will constantly put that smell out there, and you slowly, over time, they increase the smell, and over time your symptoms decrease.
Your PTSD is something that affects your life in many ways. Does this make you regret having served in the army, or don't you regret it at all?
Regret? No, not really. I probably would never do it again. But it has led to so much of who I am, and it's also helped me in a social aspect because I created a veterans group and I was accepted into graduate school mostly because of the experiences I've already had with helping people such as myself with these issues.
So Kevin, thank you very much for sharing your personal story.
You're welcome.
When we come back, find out how Americans in Paris can have a taste of home.
Well, Thomas, you've got pre-diabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have pre-diabetes. Big time.
Hey, look, it's those guys.
Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be.
Go and step out of the vehicle for me.
See ya, buddy. Good luck. So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
Calls me googly eyes.
You know you're beautiful, right? You know that?
Even you're beautiful. I got bullied for wearing glasses. Share if you're against bullying.
We put it out there, just took off. 3 million people have shared this post. Don't let bullies get you down. I stand with you. Our whole family's wearing glasses. I wear glasses and I'm proud.
I even have the army on my team.
All the kind comments brought my child joy. I don't feel thank you is enough.
Thanks.
Have you ever thought about studying abroad? Many times students can give up on the opportunity to study overseas because of the high cost of tuition, tickets, and passports. The University of Memphis Center for International Education has announced a new scholarship to help with these costs. The Study Abroad Access Initiative was created to help under-resourced students have the chance to study abroad. For more information, go online to this program, memphis.edu/abroad.
While many students who study abroad might be doing so for the first time, it's not uncommon to miss home. Tiger News reporter Bailey Clark is here to tell us about one way to overcome homesickness in the City of Lights.
You will find multiple American franchises, but one you might not expect to find is Five Guys Burgers and Fries, which originally started in the Washington, D.C. area in 1986.
Now, 30 years later, Five Guys has gone global, opening 2 locations in Paris, France in 2016, and I'm currently sitting in the largest Five Guys in the world on the Champs-Élysées, right in front of the Arc de Triomphe.
With 5 floors and an outdoor seating area, you can enjoy your burgers with a view, and you don't have to worry about the menu being any different from your Memphis Five Guys, with unlimited burger toppings and milkshakes included. Like in the U.S., all burgers are made with fresh ingredients and prepared and packaged right in front of you before being served in the same brown bag you're used to seeing. Even the Coca-Cola drink machines are the same. For Americans feeling a little homesick, like Californian Lauren Clammer and myself, you don't have to look too hard to find a taste of home.
We have a fast food line called In-N-Out. They make amazing hamburgers, french fries, soda, milkshakes, you name it. And when I'm in Paris, I miss fast food and I miss hamburgers, so I come here to get my fill.
At over 16,000 square feet, Americans, even Memphians like me, will be able to get their fill and feel right at home. As General Manager Eduardo Fried said, it is the world's largest fast food restaurant. I'm Bailey Clark with Tiger News reporting to you from Paris, France.
Rolled ice cream has become a popular trend in the dessert world and is now making an impression in the Mid-South. Rollin' Sweets Ice Cream opened June 2nd and is located on South 2nd Street in downtown Memphis. The ice cream shop is owned by Trinette Tony and her boyfriend, who is a former Memphis police officer. Tony and her boyfriend were inspired to open their own shop after seeing the Thai-style concept become popular in New York City. Tony says what sets Rolling Sweets apart from other shops are their use of fresh ingredients and friendly customer service. Coming up on Tiger News, we'll see how a classic Memphis attraction is making a comeback.
Listen to me. I am captain of the track team. And if I'm late...
She doesn't really think she's going to get out of here, does she?
Be nice. She's new. Hello, is anyone there? Ugh!
Wow. Even from our standards, you look awful.
Oh, sweetie, what happened? Me? My friend Becky got to talk to this super cute boy, and I tried to act like I wasn't jealous, but I so totally was. And then out of nowhere, this concrete barrier just popped up. Maybe it was a semi. You mean you were driving? Yeah. I mean, I know the whole eyes on the road thing, but this was a super important text. Maybe you have to know, Becky.
Texting? Great.
But it was only like 5 seconds, and I'm a really, really fast texter, so it wasn't even a big deal. Actually, has she texted me back yet? Wow, I get like no bars in this place. I wonder if they have Wi-Fi here.
The Children's Museum of Memphis is preparing for the return of a historical piece of art and amusement. Tiger News reporter Caleb Suggs brings us a sneak peek of what's in store.
After more than 2 years of hard work and restoration, the Children's Museum of Memphis is wrapping up installation for the return of the Memphis Grand Carousel.
The carousel is a magical attraction, not just for children, but also for adults who rode it when they were little, because the carousel's been around since 1923. It's a city icon, and we wanted to bring it back to life.
The carousel was hand-carved by Gustav Denzel in 1909 and brought to the Mid-South Fairgrounds in 1923. In 1976, the carousel was the centerpiece of the newly opened Liberty Land, but when the park closed in 2005, the carousel was put away until 2014, when the Children's Museum of Memphis undertook the task of restoring it to its former glory.
Through the efforts of a lot of Memphians, we've been able to save the carousel here and for future use and future memories and reviving old memories.
But saving the carousel took a lot of painstaking work and attention to detail.
So a lot of the details had gotten lost over the years by just, the routine maintenance that they had done and not taking as much care maybe to preserve it in its original state. So now the children, when they look at it, this is exactly how Denzel had carved it in 1909.
Restoring the carousel is just part one of the whole process, and that cost over $1 million just to do that, and we had that pretty much funded. But we had to have a house for all these horses, a stable, if you will, and so we had to build this building to house the carousel, keep it out of the elements, and protect it.
With 48 horses, 1,350 lights, educational features, and an ADA-compliant chariot, the Memphis Grand Carousel promises an unforgettable experience for any rider.
When you come into this type of a pavilion and there's so many lights around it and you've got the carousel music going on and it's just magical. The kids are just already, when we just post pictures of them, parents are already saying, I can't wait to bring them. They're so ready to come.
It's an inexpensive ride. It's enjoyment in any age, any demographic, even handicap accessibility. You think about those things. It's something for all Memphis. I love that term, all Memphis. And this is definitely an all-Memphis thing.
The grand opening is scheduled for Saturday, December 2nd, 2017 at 10 a.m. Reporting for Tiger News, I'm Caleb Suggs.
The University of Memphis has partnered with one of the city's most recognizable organizations. ALSAC at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital has joined with the university to create courses and course content focused on nonprofit administration. The U of M is working to identify internship opportunities to bring students to the new ALSAC headquarters on the St. Jude campus. The University of Memphis currently offers a graduate certificate in philanthropy and nonprofit leadership.
Students were in for a win at the University Center playing mini golf hosted by the University of Memphis Student Activities Council. Jessica Benton covered the excitement at the event.
Approximately 45 to 50 U of M students came out to play mini golf, with hopes to have high scores on the charts against peers. SAC held mini golf from 4 p.m. until 9 p.m.
Mini golf event helps us by bringing people together after hours. After you've been in class, you can just come down, wind down, relax with your friends, have a good time.
Giving students time to hang out with friends and just have some downtime fun. Here at the University of Memphis, SAC is offering mini golf to students free of charge, and students are more than likely to save $25 than going to a family park here in Memphis, Tennessee.
It's like a little terrifying. My friend was playing and I got hit with the little club. Yeah, that's mine.
SAC is an organization that plays a major part on campus. Playing mini golf at family parks in Memphis, Tennessee can be expensive depending on your budget and rate of plays you're expecting to purchase. This allows students to come together on more than just studies, but in a sociable way.
I guess aim correctly, make sure your aim is right so you can get in the hole, pretty much. And your swing, you gotta have power behind your swing. So.
Cost of services and events are free of charge for students. Just show up and enjoy. This has been Jessica Benton reporting for Tiger News.
For more on upcoming events with SAC, go to www.memphis.edu and search for Student Activities Council. And that's all the time we have this morning. Please join us again next week for another edition of Tiger News.
Have a great day.